I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about Soul in this patch. Because I feel like people have some misconceptions. People do not really understand the matchup. And I think it gets them blown up a lot, right? Alright, so one of the biggest changes this patch for Soul is this Bandit Revolver Rekka. And I feel like people really do not understand how it works. So this Rekka, right? It's going to be 236k, and you can follow it up with another kick to finish the Bandit Revolver. And this Bandit Revolver can be kind of delayed, pretty late as you can see. And if I hit that, you get some pretty big damage off rapid cancels. Because you can get this launch. So it seems pretty good on paper, right? Where if I can force you into a counter hit, or if I can make you think that I'm going to do the second follow-up, then I can just stop and throw you, right? And I feel like I cheese a lot of people with this strategy right here. I do this so often in Celestial because nobody knows how to deal with it. And it turns out, the way that you can deal with this very, very, very easily is just by pressing a low move. So something that you can do, right, is if you have this character memeing you like this, is just to go in the lab, set him up to do this, and find a button that beats the throw option. As you can see, literally pressing a jab knocks me right out of this fucking move, right? You can say, well, I could delay it, right? I could delay this, and you'd be correct. You'd be very correct that I can counter hit, right? But let's try. Let's say, where's crouching? Crouching P. There it is. If I'm delaying this, and I don't hit it on this very frame perfect delay, you'll actually knock me right out of it for a combo. Like, throwing out a low profile move here to this delayed form, where I try to catch your button to punish me, will actually beat it like 100% of the time. It's like, just like doing this if you're on block, right? So let's set you to block. People do this all the time. After block, doing 2k. Oops, not blocking. Damn. That's crazy, right? You can't even frame trap. This Rekka is so good, guys. So, I feel like people don't understand the nature of this interaction here, where if I'm choosing to try to do this to you and try to meme on you with this move, you just get to do a lot of stuff if you option select it, where I lose instantly. It's actually not that good of a Rekka, because even if I space it, I don't really get to do much afterwards. The best I can do is probably trade. Nope, not even that on some moves, right? 2k. So people will typically think it's -7, even if it's spaced, but it's actually -1, right? You can see we just traded there. If I space it very perfectly, we trade, right? But otherwise, it's like very difficult to even get a move out. I just get punished or countered. And if I'm trying to frame trap you, just do a low profile move, and you'll very easily knock me right out of my follow-up. You see me doing this like delay, it's like I think a 1 frame option. It's 1 frame or like 2 frames where I can do it low enough to counter hit a low profile move. Sorry, Potemkin. You kinda just gotta hold it. Snake Eyes complains about this Rekka a lot. But most characters can figure out something to do where you just completely low profile this move and then blow me up. So don't fall for this throw setup either, because as it turns out, if I'm close enough and you're not blocking, right, it's not plus. And I'm going to prove it to you right here. Is that after block? Yeah, after hit is what I want. It's not plus. If I'm trying to throw you and I go for this a lot,
Don't look away.
Guess what? Punished once again. Now, I'm not saying this is foolproof, right? You have to kind of know what your opponent's going for and react to do this specific counter, because if I follow up, it does this. But a lot of people will pretend like there's no answers, right? And a lot of low-profile moves will completely beat both options. If you have a really fast, low-hitting move, then you can actually just get right under the follow-up kick and beat my throw at the same time. And if I'm spaced, then I definitely can't do it to you, right? So the only way I have to make this plus, still can't really throw you. Because on hit, it's just not really close enough for me to do very much. And if I try to move forward to attack, you throw me. It's not plus enough, right? So if I'm like doing a combo D like this, where it's like kind of spaced, it's not punish, right? You can see that. But if I follow this move up, even though it's a plus with another move, you're either going to break my throw or throw me right out of it. So honing these defensive skills for yourself are very important, especially in the new Soul matchup where things like this can be very confusing, but not actually that dangerous if you pay a little bit of attention and try to look at it from an analytical viewpoint. Which can also be applied to Ram's Rekka too. I don't like Ram's Rekka right now because with meter it becomes insane because you can't really challenge it unless you have a DP. But you can apply the same logic to stuff like that as well. Analyzing your opponent's moveset, even after the supposed quasi nerf buff question mark, right? There's still a lot of easy ways to deal with what Soul's trying to do to you. As far as everything else goes, the only actual strict buff to Soul is if I land this move on you, counter hit, right? Because now I get a full combo. So the main move you have to look out for now is this 2S counter hit, because then I get this follow-up. And if I get that follow-up, then it leads to the whole shebang. I try to go for this reset and throw you, but you throw me out of it, right? If you know it's coming, then you just throw me out of it. And you force me to have to use Rekka 2. And Rekka 2 doesn't have good OP, right? Watch me try to meaty Fafnir right here. Oops. Didn't dash up. Man, I can't dash right now. There we go. Right? So if I'm trying to time it to meaty you, you're just gonna toss me right out of that thing. So forcing me to rely on this the second follow-up for the Rekka is extremely important in the matchup because it denies me OP, especially mid-screen. So if I'm in the corner and I hit you with a combo, yeah, sure, this hurts, but there's no way really without meter for me to get OP on it. If I try to Fafnir you here, you throw me out of it. If I try to run up, Far Slash only has 2 active frames, so unless I'm really tight with my timing, damn, I get thrown again. And I definitely cannot get close slash OP here either, as you can see. So a lot of my options after this second hit knockdown, not really that great for me. So once you've forced me to commit to use this option, not only is my OP worse, but if you block this move, I'm minus 12, which means you just kill me, right? Because it's negative 12. You could do your biggest combo. I don't even know how to play a ramp, but something, right? You can do some crazy stuff, get in there, deal half my health. Ram's close slash probably isn't less than 12 frames, right? I'm right next to you. A lot of people will just throw, and that's really missing out on the reward of blocking this. So if you start making me commit to using Rekka 2, don't be afraid to try to go for something a little meaty. For example, let's see what our boy Potemkin can do. And it's actually gotten to the point where people like Snake Eyes have adapted to the Rekka, even though he'll say it's kind of BS, right? That he'll adapt to the way that I use the Rekka and make it very unfavorable unless I have meter to even use it. Because let's just make Soul do Rekka 1. Right? You block Rekka 1. Man, that sucks, right? No meter? Get eaten alive, I guess, right? Or you can just go straight into this, right? Do something like that, and then Rekka 2 is even worse, right? Because if I try to follow this up with a button, you're just gonna straight kill me. So I'm gonna try to use Rekka 2 now because I see you going for Buster on Rekka 1, and if you guess correctly there, right? You guess correctly there, you really get a reward because that's a punish. That becomes a punish, hard punish. So, anyways, the point of this discussion was to, one, look at Soul's quote-unquote buffs with an objective lens on what your options are to deal with them, right? But also to encourage you to hit the lab to find out an answer that you might not have thought that solves a lot of your problems. At some point I want to do a little bit of another video, not really a series, but I want to do another video where I show you some of the things that I've learned to deal with specific options that some characters have. For example, Axel's Rainwater, or when Nago does 2S 5H and tries to kind of zone you mid-screen, where you can utilize some of your buttons to clash or do certain things to prevent them from getting their optimal outcome or an expected outcome, right? And so trying to create situations where your opponent doesn't get an expected outcome is very important, right? Because they're going to try to go for things like this and bait you into pressing buttons. But you got to make it so that they're always trying to go for Rekka 2 instead of Rekka 1 by understanding that they don't get away with just doing Rekka 1, right? And force them to understand that they have to go to Rekka 2 to try to frame trap you. And once you create this situation for Soul, it becomes very difficult for him to open you up without meter. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for my YouTube video. I'm going to be putting that up here in a couple hours. And hopefully it's an enjoyable video for you guys. Pretty short, but I feel like it's important content because a lot of people don't understand this Rekka interaction very well and kind of let themselves, crumble underneath it. So anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. You can find me on Twitter at the Symbolist FGC, just like it is on the screen, and pretty much every day on Twitch at this _Symbolist_. If this video taught you a little bit, if you learned how to beat your fraudulent soul buddies, drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks everyone.